Every time I choose comfort, I lose momentum. And I've done it more times than I want to admit. Let's talk about how the soft life is slowly killing everything that you're trying to build. And the thing about it is that comfort feels good. And that's the problem. Being comfortable isn't bad. That's what I talked about on this channel a lot with financial freedom, living the life that you want to live, having control over things that you want to have control of. While comfort in itself isn't bad, it is addictive. Every day, if you're scrolling online, you're always being marketed ease. You got DoorDash, you got Uber, you got Netflix and snooze button. Almost every business is marketed around making your life easier, making your life more comfortable so you don't have to do anything. I know tax time is ending right now, but TurboTax, any business wants to take your money in order for you to have a more comfortable lifestyle. And as I said, this isn't necessarily bad, but a life of ease comes at the cost of your time, your energy, and probably most importantly is going to be your edge. Comfort in itself shouldn't be a place that you want to stay at long term. I think of comfort as a tax on your potential. Let's talk about those hidden costs of comfort. Think about it, this whole week I've been talking about discipline. I've been talking about getting back started and doing what you feel called to do. And what that is for me is making YouTube videos, but whatever that may be for you, no matter what it is, it takes discipline in order to keep going with something when you no longer feel motivated to do it. And discipline itself atrophies in comfortable environments. When you're making enough money to pay your bills but not go above and beyond, when you have the car you want, the vacation you want to go on, or the life you want to live, you don't have any excuse to be disciplined anymore. And what happens then is that you start to sleep in a little bit later. You start to miss some workouts. You start to fall back on what got you to that place in the first place. And think about it is that it's easy to look at your life about what you have already done, but what comfort in itself steals is the opportunities that you have to be great in the future. That's why in the past 4 or 5 months when I haven't been uploading YouTube, I have embarrassingly so allowed comfort to steal my early mornings, to steal some of my workouts, definitely steal the momentum that I was building here on this channel. And for what? In order to get a couple more hours of sleep, in order to watch another episode of Netflix, in order to do what exactly? What am I gaining when not being disciplined if it's not a better life than I could have had? And it is a very deceptive environment to be in because you don't lose your edge all at once. You lose it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and then it turns into a month or 2 months. And then when you finally want to get back started, you're like, well, it's been so long, I don't even know how to do it anymore. I don't even know what to do. And all of a sudden, you then turn those 3 months into 6 months, into 1 year, 5 years, and now your whole life is gone past and you're still wondering in the back of your head what could have been. And what my wake-up call ultimately was when I was taking a drive to my 9 to 5. I was talking to some co-workers who had talked about what they were doing the past weekend or what they were planning to do the next weekend, and all of a sudden I just felt a huge sense of dread, thinking that I was in this huge rat race, constantly turning in circles, not making any sort of progress. The quarters were going to keep having more and more work. There was nothing to build in that life unless it was for someone else. I was never making any progress towards a dream that I actually had for myself. And one of the reasons that led me to that place here on this channel was that early on, I was only thinking about the AdSense dollars. I was only thinking about what the potential for this channel had for my life monetarily, and not what the potential impact this channel had for the people who were potentially watching it. And once I sort of woke myself up out of that daze or that place that I was in and decided I actually want to start to make an impact, is when I deleted YouTube Studio off my phone. Is when I stopped looking at the AdSense dollars and only focus on what would be the most impactful content for me to make. So now I'm talking to you direct, whoever may be watching this video. Maybe you have taken a month or two off of your dream. Maybe you did stop recording YouTube videos. Maybe you did stop budgeting. Maybe you did stop working out and slow down the momentum that you have for your life. But don't let the past 3 months ruin the next 3 months that you have for your life. Don't let yesterday ruin today. And in order to do this, I encourage you to fight back with friction and take it 24 hours at a time. You don't have to win the next 3 months right away. You don't have to win the sprint every single time. It is going to be a marathon, but what you can do as you are watching this video is win today, win tonight, win the next hour, win the next 30 seconds, do 1 push-up, do 1 sit-up, budget $1, and see just how the momentum starts to flow. This happened to me in my life, and I started to see the results right away. I started to feel more fulfilled. I started to move with a greater sense of urgency, with a greater purpose, and I actually started to find little times, little moments within my day to actually follow my dream. Don't be too busy for yourself. I know it's easy to sell your dreams to someone else for a paycheck, but find 10 minutes, find an hour every single week to just do something in order to push whatever goal that you may have towards the finish line. If it's getting a 6-pack by the end of the year, do 5 crunches right now. or 5 crunches by the end of the day whenever you have an opportunity, and let the small wins stack up. And to give you guys an idea of what that looks like for my life, I started waking up at 3:45 a.m. in order to do a 45-minute workout at 4 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Today is Friday, I'm working from home, so the schedule is a little bit flexible. I don't want to lie to you guys and say I stick to this schedule every single day, but I try to do a 45-minute workout every day in some form of fashion. Sometimes it's just stretching. It doesn't have to necessarily be weightlifting. Sometimes it's going for a walk, run for as long as I can get in 45 minutes, and sometimes it is working out in this home garage behind me, but I do try to get some sort of movement in every day. After that, I get ready for my day and then go to my 9 to 5 if I'm working from home or if I'm working in the office. And while at my 9 to 5, what I am doing now is editing the videos that I have recorded in advance once I have an opportunity. Now, don't blow off your 9 to 5 and get fired in order to do something crazy, because you still need an income to survive in this economy. But find moments, find time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time in order to stack those building blocks. After that, once I get home, I start working on some other projects that I have for myself. And then I try to shut it all down, YouTube, work, and everything by 6 p.m. What this allows me to do is have 2 to 3 hours of strictly rest, strictly turning my brain off from YouTube and from work, and allows me to reset to start all over again the next day. Something I am going to be incorporated in this sort of routine that I have is a cheat day, maybe on Sundays or Saturdays, where I spend a full day not worried about YouTube or anything, sort of like a Sabbath that's mentioned in the Bible, so that I don't get too overwhelmed in the lifestyle. But as I implement that into my new YouTube routine is when I'm going to share what that looks like with you guys. But my ending challenge for you is that pick one comfort zone that you have in your life today and eliminate it for the next 7 days. If that is picking up your phone the first thing when you wake up in the morning and start scrolling on social media, put your phone in the next room for 1 week. Try to quit that one destructive habit cold turkey, and let's change our lives together.